Hello everyone, welcome to Annie's Flock or welcome back to Annie's Flock. Today what I want to share with you with little Olive, my black-capped conure, is 3 things that I rotate on a weekly basis because change is really good for your birds. Yes? Are you talking on my, you want to come here? Okay. She's going to talk the whole time? I don't know. So we're going to try to do this video today with Olive. She's been a little bit cray-cray, a little bit hormonal, so we'll see if we're able to do this whole video with her, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over those 3 things. I'm going to explain how I do the rotation, why I do it, what is beneficial for the birds about it. And then at the very end of the video, you want to stick around because I'm going to add a little clip of my setup of my 3 cages so you can understand a little bit more, so you can have a visual of what I was talking about. So number 1, what I rotate on a weekly basis are the cages. So my 3 cages are side by side in the bird room, which is my living room here. And I rotate them on the weekly basis so that I move when I do the deep clean. And all of this happens when I do the weekly deep clean. So I move them around. And the reason why I do this is so that my birds are not territorial over their space. If I had all birds that are the same size, I would probably just move them from cage to cage. You want to come here? You want to come here? From cage to cage instead of actually rotating the cages. But because they're not the same size, I'm not doing this. And this brings me to number 2. If I rotate the toys on a weekly basis as well. So they all have different toys because I have different sizes of birds, right? I have from very tiny, my little budgies, to, are you okay here? To medium, like a smaller medium with my Indian ringneck Lucy. So I can't have all the same toys. I can't rotate the toys because they have different needs, different size. How? No. See, now she's biting me a little bit, so I might have to put her away. Are you okay? Are you okay? You want to come now? Okay, be nice. So yeah, so they have to have their own toys. If they could all share the toys because they were all the same size, I would just change them from cage to cage. It would have probably the exact same result, but they have their own toys. So when it comes to toys, they each have a container. What are you doing? They each have a container of toys under their cage, and once a week I'm going to remove the toy that has been in their cage the longest, or the toy or toys that are completely destroyed, that have served their purpose, and we need to move on. The other thing is I don't remember buying the same toys twice. And the reason, again, why I do this is because I want to keep that rotation and not have my bird just being used to always the same thing. And this is exactly, come here. This is exactly the reason why I do this rotation. No. She's eating my light. That's the reason why I do this rotation, is because I want them to stay engaged. I want them to stay curious. I don't want them to be bored. I want them to explore different texture, different toys. The cage is not a prison. It's a house. It's like you when you're in your house. You don't stay in your house all the time, but you just don't. Well, some people do, but rarely do you just sleep in your house, right? So you want to have their cages like a house. So you want it big. Are you okay? You want it big. You want it to be fun. You want it to be entertaining. You want to come? Do you want to come? Come in. Come in. No? She's acting. Ugh. I might have to put her in her cage soon. We'll see. So yeah. So basically this is why you want to change the toys all the time. Now, the third thing that I rotate on a weekly basis are perches. Now, when it comes to perches, it's a little bit different than with the toys. I actually do rotate the perches in between all my birds, except for a couple that are really tiny that I use only for my budgies, and a couple that are really, really big that I only use for my conure and my Indian ring net. You want to come? Come on. Come. Okay, good job, baby. No, be nice. Be nice. Hey, hey. Be nice. Okay. Are you nice? Are you nice? You're not nice. I don't like your body language right now. Do you see this? Want to go in your? Do you want to go in your house? Okay, you want to go in your house? Okay, I'll be right back. The dinosaur is in her cage now. Yeah, it was. She's been acting a little bit crazy and unpredictable lately, and when I see this body language, she gets very heightened, and a few times she actually kind of attacked me, and like she literally just bit me. I don't know if you can see, like right here the other day, like no warning. She was heightened a little bit like that, but I didn't really cue in. I was just busy or whatever. She literally just flew and bit me. Anyways, I digress. Going back to the perches. So yeah, I rotate the perches in between all my birds. So what I do when I do the deep clean, I remove all the perches that are dirty, the ones that my birds pooped on it, or any perches that are really damaged that need to be thrown away or repaired. Well, usually you can't really repair them. You usually just throw them away if they're dangerous for the birds. So then I would remove those and I replace them for other ones. So this, by removing, if for some reason they're all clean, which is really rare, I would just remove the one that has been in the cage for the longest, right? By doing this, it really also forced me to move things around in the cage a little bit. And this is actually really good for them. They don't get used to always use the same path. So I'm going to give an example. So Lucy, when I first got her about 8 months ago, she was fat, barely moving. She had a hard time to stand on some perches. You can tell she wasn't really agile. So I do this for all my birds. They have their food on one side, their water on the other side, because I want them to move around in their cage, right? So I did the same thing, and she would find a path and always move and use the same perches and find her path that worked for her. So by changing every week, then she was like, oh my gosh, my path is gone. I need to find a new path, right? And then from there, I mean, with the diet and everything, but she lost weight because she was moving more, and then she became more agile. I added some foraging toy in there that I placed in a way that she had to sometimes climb onto them or climb onto something. And now she's just really agile and she moves around in her cage, and yeah, it's no longer an issue. So moving perch around and having different sizes of perch is really good. It's really healthy for their feet as well, so they can grip on different sizes. So it's like exercising their feet. It's like us. If we just sit or stand in one position all day long, our body is going to hurt, literally. So we need to change things up a little bit. Well, it's the same thing for the birds, right? So basically, what you want to remember from this, change is really good for your bird and for your birds. The other thing also is, the other reason why change is so good is that there's a lot of people that say my bird is really fearful. Every time I get a new toy or a new perch, they're scared of it. Every time that I offer something new, they're scared. Well, this is trainable. If you just stop, they're scared, I'm just gonna remove it, then they're never gonna learn that whatever is scary is not really scary, if that makes sense. So birds are actually able to overcome their fears. We just need to help them a little bit. And sometimes it needs a little bit of training. If you're interested in having a video about how to train your bird to not be scared of something anymore, let me know in the comments. I can totally do this. I can show you live with my birds how I do this, because yes, my birds are not any different than others. They are scared of new things sometimes, but I work through it. I don't just say, I don't give up, you know. Do not give up, ever. Don't give up. It's really important for your bird. Do not give up. Continue. Eventually you'll get there. Yes, so let me know if you like this video in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Now just watch this little clip. You'll have a visual of my setup. All right, so this is my setup here. So my 3 cages are side by side. So how I do the rotation basically is every week. So for example, I just did it, but for an example, next week, my budgies that are right there and my Indian ringnet right here, they're just gonna move over, and then I'm gonna bring over here the one in the corner, Olive, my Black Cape Conure. I'm gonna bring her over here, and I do this every single week. I rotate like this. So, and what's good about this is, I don't know if you can realize, but in that corner there, it's a little bit darker, just because it happens that there's less sunlight that goes in that corner. So at least that way, it's not always the same bird also that has, less sunlight. So there you go, or less light basically. And when I was talking about those containers with their toys, so here's the container for the budgies, container for Lucy, my Indian ringneck, and the container for Olive. Then I have all my bigger perches and ladders are underneath Lucy's cage, and then I have a container. Right now it's half open just because I just washed some and I want them to dry, and I don't want to have all the humidity that's stuck in there. The smaller perches are all in that little container right there. So yeah, basically this is the setup there.